So with that, while I was here today, I met an individual who is supporting health freedom, supporting medical freedom, supporting parental rights, and he has made the decision to run for office. And he said, "Can I speak?" And we said, "Yeah, sure, come on up and speak. I want to give to you Caleb. Caleb, come on up."
Well, first of all, thank you very much, everyone, for doing this. Thank you to Michael. Let's give it up for Children's Health Defense. Let's give it up for the Bravest for Choice. Let's give a shout out to our attorney Cox, who's going to sue Kathy Hochul and win. Ladies and gentlemen, my name is Caleb Slater, and I am running for the New York State Senate. As it stands right now, the supermajority that one party holds it by one seat, and I'm running in central New York, Syracuse and Auburn, and the most viable seat in our entire state to flip. But I'm not here to talk about parties. I'm here to talk about values. And you are either supporting parental rights or you're not. You're either supporting medical freedom or you're not. There are people here today with Kennedy shirts, and there's people here that have shirts that say America First. I don't care if you're a Republican. I don't care if you're a Democrat. I stand for medical freedom. And I want to talk to you today about sacrifice. You see, Benjamin Franklin once said that those who are willing to sacrifice a little bit of freedom for a little bit of security, in the end, will have neither. And how many times do we have to see that? We saw that 2 decades ago when the government said, give up your privacy, let us do the Patriot Act, it's going to be good, it's for your best interest. It was never for our best interest. We saw this during COVID, where they said, listen, 2 weeks to stop the spread, stay home, it's for your safety, it's for your security. Well, 2 weeks turned into 2 years. And then they said, take the shot. The same people that they said were heroes, frontline workers, our medical professionals, our teachers, our firemen, our military, our people that the state on day one said we support them, when they didn't do the bidding of Johnson & Johnson and all the big corporations, now all of a sudden they lost their income. What we need to do is stand together, and we need to oppose the mandates. We need to oppose the violations on freedom, and we need to stand as one. Let me give you a little bit of context as to my race and why it's so important to get involved early. I'm running against a senator. You may have heard of her. Her name is Rachel May. Rachel May was on the aging committee during COVID and authorized all of those sick people going into nursing homes. People would call her office and say, I want to see my grandmother, I want to see my mother, I want to see my family, and she wouldn't answer. If you want to see your mother, it's your right. If you want to see your grandmother, it's your right. If you want to see your family, it's your right. And who is the state to try and divide up a family?
That's right.
Right? Can we give it up for some families, please? Thank you. And that's what I want to speak to, because a lot of people, when they run, they say, well, I'm running to do this, I'm running to do that, and I am running to do those things. But again, I'm going to go back to where I started with sacrifice. Why am I running? I'm running because freedom isn't free. Not only are there military officials and people who fought against threats to our constitutional rights, both foreign and what we're seeing in New York domestically, but my family sacrificed a lot for me to have the right to stand here before you today. I'm going to tell you a little bit about that background. My grandmother gave up everything she had escaping communism in the Dominican Republic, July 4th, 1970. Right? Let's give it up for people who came here. We celebrate Independence Day twice. We celebrate the freedoms that you and I all share and celebrate the journey that my family came to get here. But you know what's sad? My grandmother, who gave up everything and loves this country, she, like many of your family, many of your friends, many of your relatives, many of your neighbors, she left New York. She doesn't live here anymore. She lives in Kissimmee, Florida, because she will tell you that the very totalitarianism that she ran away from, the very communism that she ran away from, it's present right here in New York. If the state is powerful enough and it's so big enough to tell you the medical decisions that you can make, if it's so big to tell you how to heat your house, they want to get rid of gas stoves, they want to get rid of fossil fuel hookups. That's not America. That's a violation of our freedom, that's a violation of our liberty, that's a violation of our property rights. And the second thing is my grandfather. You see, my grandfather was a World War II veteran. He marched with Dr. King. He advocated for us to all have equal rights in this country. Well, now, it's no longer primarily disparaging amongst race. It's disparaging amongst class. If you notice, the Congress and the representatives in government here in New York, they didn't have to take the COVID shot. But you did. But we did. You see what they did right here in Albany today to try and stop you from understanding the types of STDs that your kids are getting, the types of treatment that your kids are getting. But they wouldn't advocate for that lack of information to go to their own kids. You see what I'm saying? So we need to stand together. We need to stand strong.